Hey there, YouTube. Everybody out there ready for the weekend? I sort of am, but I hope that the weekend comes with a little bit less rain for us. We got 5 inches a couple of days ago. It rained yesterday. It's raining today, and we just been getting hammered with rain this summer. So all the people that ask, that say give us some rain, you're more than welcome to take ours. But anyhow, just thought I would finish off the week talking about my thoughts on how I think raw vegan obsession isn't healthy. And there's so many people and so many examples I see of it out there, especially social media. That's why I've kind of always had to play this thing on my own with this raw vegan diet, because I don't vibe with a lot of people. I'm definitely not in that raw is law cultish kind of just, the ones I'm talking about. And also too, let me always reiterate, when I talk about raw is law, I'm not talking about the people that choose to eat a fully raw vegan diet. I'm just talking about the people that are always obsessing about it. It's all raw. Everything's raw. It's all about raw. A lot of times to the exclusion of any actual nutrition. Now, as we're talking, I'm just using this. Raw vegan just happens to be the subject I'm talking about, but in most cases, I'm sure there's always an exception somewhere out there, but you can pretty much plug anything into most of what I'm saying here about obsession. Obsession is not good. Eating obsessions are really not good, no matter how you're eating, no matter how well you think you're doing. One thing I've never trusted, and that's another reason I just don't resonate with a whole lot of raw vegan content that comes out, or raw vegan people. They're nice enough people, but I've never trusted people that know everything, and I've never trusted people that have a strong opinion on everything. Our brains are just like, they're fantastic computers, but we don't have the hard drive to have that much knowledge to have an opinion on everything. So that's always a red flag for me. To begin with. Now, I've got my notes down here when you guys see me looking down. What are some of the signs? What are some of the things about the people that tend to be more obsessed and that are really like this? They have special knowledge. Have you ever noticed that? Putting out content, I notice that a lot, especially on Instagram. You got people out there that basically seem to know every food, ingredient, and substance on the planet. You'll throw out a list of things that you're putting in something, and they will tell you, this is good, this is bad, you shouldn't be eating this, you shouldn't do that, because this will block this, and it won't be absorbed by that, and it's da-da-da-da-da-da. And half of it is just wacky. I'm sorry, I'm not a conspiracy person, I'm not into crazy stuff. So anything that approaches crazy or way out there just doesn't resonate with me. Another thing I notice about the obsessed people, and I see them a lot of times go down a path from just starting to do this, and they always want to go deeper. It's always about going deeper, so beware of that mentality. They tend to have very little variety. They preach we just need this, this, and this, and they'll eat 3 or 4 things. I probably was a little more guilty of that back in the day. I didn't necessarily get as much variety as I should be getting, but I was never, trying to eat just one thing or this or that. But I did kind of get a little overboard at times over mono meals and what have you. And I'll still do a mono meal from time to time. But like I say, it's more about the mentality than the actual things you're doing. It's just like I say, it's obsession. Obsession's kind of one of those things, looking at it from the outside. We can't necessarily define, okay, this is obsession, but we know it when we see it. Another thing is when it comes to knowing all those ingredients and everything about them, and if you put a piece of garlic in, well, garlic does this, and it's going to blah, 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 and onions will do this, and a little bit of pink salt will do this, and everything else, is they tend, and also too, when you put out ingredients or a recipe, they tend to brag through telling you what they eat and what they don't eat. I've got certain people that I kind of actually make a little game out of it. It's almost like every time they pop up telling you, and it's not just me, it's not just people saying something about what I eat, but I'll look at other people's posts, and you'll see these same people all the time talking about, well, I don't eat this, and they'll state their reasons why, and I'm thinking, and usually if you go back, especially if it's a bigger content creator, you go back and nobody's even paid attention, and you know that's killing them because they're trying to get that attention by bragging, by putting themselves at the head of the raw vegan class. I'm a higher level. I've moved on up in the organization. Another one is endless cleanses, fast, and always talking about detox. Going back to what I talk about, going deeper. I do remember that when I used to participate a lot, like when I was in more Facebook groups or when I was in a couple of forums back in the day. I remember one specific Facebook group that I'm not going to name, even though I don't think it's around anymore, that was the whole, like, that's all everybody talked about. There was no talk of eating going on in there. It was always about, you're going to do an island. Hey, anybody want to join me for a blah, 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 a banana island for 37 days, or we're going to eat grapes for 25 days? Or how they are talking about detox symptoms, or talking about their poop. People would actually go into long, detailed explanations, and there was this whole little specific subcult of the cult that was just like constantly detox, detox, detox. Always a fast, always a cleanse. And what, like I say, what I've talked about in here before, I just observe things, what I see. And one thing that I always noticed from almost the very first year of eating this lifestyle was that it never seemed to work. In other words, like they'd do their solid food vacation or juice feast or juice fast or whatever, and then they were vibrating and talking all this woo-woo language and stuff, and then 6 months later they had progressed back to eating certain things a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further, and now it's time to do another one, and they just got caught up in these endless cycles of never learning how to eat, just going back, doing a cleanse, doing okay for a while or feeling okay, then boom, they got to go back and forth, back and forth. Now I'm going to finish with this though. When I talk about this, and when I talk about not obsessing or not being all fanatic about everything you eat, I think sometimes people also mistake that, the other raw vegans out there, or people that are trying to learn how to do this a little bit more through me, they think like I'm just kind of willy-nilly, like, oh yeah, it's okay to eat this every once in a while. I have my certain limits and boundaries. It's just that I'm not obsessed. I'm not obsessed with the wholly cooked food. Oh my God. I eat cooked food. I've mentioned it all the time, and that's why I try to mention it as much as possible in these videos. So if you are a Raw is Law type, I respect it. Go find a Raw is Law content creator. It's all good, no hard feelings. But no. When I'm eating, like I ate some cooked food this week. I had collard greens. I had cooked collard greens, and I had some peas. I think they weren't white. They're not black-eyed peas. We have different peas around here, but they were a type of pea, like a black-eyed pea. I think one day I said peas, and somebody thought I was talking about green peas or whatever. So that's what I'm doing when I'm eating cooked food. I'm not just saying, oh, I've fallen off, or oh, I'm going to eat a snack or something. I'm not like eating some garbage. I'm eating whole foods, plant-based foods, sweet potatoes. So just because I say, don't be a fanatic about it doesn't mean I'm just kind of doing this loosely. I'm just working on getting the variety, putting good things into my body. I feel good. I've got good digestion. And I don't need, you know what? I'm eating how I'm eating. I don't need anybody to approve of it, tell me I'm doing things right. I'm just listening to myself. You listen to yourselves. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody out there. You make up your own decisions for you, but don't step over into that obsession. That's when you can take anything that's good and make it not so good. So anyhow, just my 2 cents worth on that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. Have a beautiful weekend. If something pops into my head, maybe while I'm reading tonight, I might do a weekend video. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday. Peace.